Hi everyone, it's Sandra, and in today's video I thought I would try something a little bit different. One of my favorite models is Rosie Huntington-Whiteley. I think she's very, very beautiful. I love her style. I absolutely love her makeup looks. She started like a lifestyle beauty blog not too long ago, and she also has a YouTube channel. And she did this tutorial a few weeks ago, so I have it up here. It's a glowing summer makeup tutorial. And I just thought that I would recreate it because I really love the look. I think that it turned out really beautifully. The first thing that she does is apply lip balm. So I'm gonna do the same. I try to do this whenever I start my makeup looks, but most of the time I don't. And I end up just throwing a lip balm in my handbag and applying it later on. I'm using the Luminous Paw Paw Ointment on my lips. It feels really, really nice. For foundation, she uses Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk, which I have. So we're off to a great start. I use this in the shade 3.5, and she applies it with the damp beauty blender. So that's what I'm gonna do. And we have the same beauty blender. This is my favorite beauty blender just because it's black, and I find that it doesn't leak color. When I've had other colors of the beauty blender before, I found that every time I would wash it, some of the color would come out. And that doesn't happen with the black one, so. This is a beautiful foundation. I love it. But I use it more in fall and winter. For under eye concealer, she just uses the standard YSL Touche Eclat. I think I'm going to need a little bit of the Touche Eclat High Cover just in the center of my face because I have a bit more darkness than she does. I use the shade 1.5 in both of these formulas. I'm gonna do a little bit down the center of my face as well, just to give me a bit more definition. She uses the Hourglass Arch Brow Pencil. I use this in the shade Ash. I'm assuming the one she uses is like blonde or soft brunette, because her brows are quite a bit lighter than mine. But this is my favorite brow pencil for easy, quick brows. I don't really have to think about it too much. The tone works really well. I always think it's so much fun when you play around and follow somebody else's routine because you notice how everyone does things in different order. I usually do my eyebrows after I do my eyeshadow, but in this case, we did it before. Now the fun part is eyeshadow. I don't have the quad that she uses. She uses a NARS Singapore. And I just went onto Temptalia and I looked up swatches of that quad and I tried to look at the dupes that she has listed. Temptalia is such a wonderful beauty blog and resource. If I'm ever trying to kind of like dupe a look that I see online, I always go to Temptalia first and kind of look through her dupe list and kind of figure out what I have, what I can use. There's one gold eyeshadow in the palette that's very, very warm, almost like an orangey yellow gold, and I don't find those colors to look very flattering on me, which is why I don't have a color that's very, very close. The closest thing that I could find to that color is this color here in this Becca eyeshadow palette that I have, the Becca Eyelights palette from the Apres Ski collection. If you ever bought this palette and you still have it kicking around, it's great to have. So I'm going to take this color here in place of that warm gold color from that NARS quad. And this is totally different to how I do my eye makeup. And she starts applying the shimmery color. I usually start with a matte color. I don't think I ever start with a shimmery color straight off the bat. So I feel like I'm a little bit outside my comfort zone, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. And then she's like slowly pulling it in, and she's taking it into the crease as well with that same brush, which I find kind of hard. So I'm going to switch brushes. Eyes are a bit more deep set than hers, so I always have a hard time kind of blending things over my brow bone. All right, now she's taking a little pencil brush and she's dipping it into like a darker bronzy brown, and I have this Gucci eyeshadow in the color Oxydus that looks quite similar to that color. So I'm gonna take that on this little Hakuhodo pencil brush and I'm going to use it close to the lash line and underneath the eye as well. All right, next we're taking like this pale rose gold color from the quad. I'm gonna mix these two Becca shades, kind of get the same effect and apply it in the inner corner. I would have never thought to use like pink and orange and bronze together. Next she takes that reddish color from the quad, and according to Timtalia, Venetian Red from the Modern Renaissance palette is a close dupe, and she's taking it on like a slightly fluffier brush and she's applying it in the crease. Now this part makes me nervous because Venetian Red is very pigmented. And this is totally not an eyeshadow like combination situation that I would ever do on my eyes. I feel like this looks really pretty on green or blue eyes, but I'm committed to the look. Another interesting thing is that she did one eye first and then the other, which is another thing that I never do. I always like to do both my eyes at the same time so that I remember exactly what order I'm doing things in. So anyway, let's try to recreate it on the other eye. She took her eyeshadow out a bit more this way. I can't do that, again, because of my eye shape. I tried to do that before and I just don't like the way that looks on me, so I'm gonna reel it in a bit. All right, I think the eyes are pretty close. Got the gist of it. It's a really pretty color combination. It's really not a look. I mean, it's not a palette that I would purchase, and it's not a color combination that I would particularly be drawn to, but it's definitely fun to try. Next, we are going on to eyelashes. This is a Japonesque eyelash curlers. I got them on Amazon and I really, really like them. They're very strong. They give a very good curl. And she uses two different mascaras for this look. She uses a lengthening mascara first and then a volumizing mascara. And I'm just gonna use a volumizing mascara primer. This is the Marc Jacobs one. And then I'm going to use a lengthening and lifting mascara on top of that. So I'm using the L'Oreal Unlimited Mascara. And she goes straight in to like powder cheek products, and I can't do that. I need to powder at this point. So I'm using some By Terry Hyaluronic Hydra powder, a little Wayne Goss airbrush, and I'm just using this powder down areas in which I don't want shine. I can't wear Luminous Silk in the summertime without powder. So now that I powdered, I'm gonna go in with bronzer, and I'm using the color Bronzed Bondi by Becca, which is a little bit less orangey, a little bit more neutral than Capri Coast. She's using a Surratt palette. Then for blush, closest thing I had was First Love from Charlotte Tilbury. And I'm just going to take a NARS Yachio blush brush. For highlight, she's using a liquid Glass Glow Illuminator liquid thing from Kevyn Aucoin, and it's a rose gold liquid highlighter, and I have a rose gold liquid highlighter. This is the Marc Jacobs Dewdrops, so I'm going to use the Marc Jacobs. Going to apply it, just a tiny little bit of it though, because this is quite an aggressive highlight. I'm gonna apply it with this fluffy Real Techniques brush. Actually, I think I like it better with the Beauty Blender, so cancel the brush, enter the Beauty Blender. Such a pretty highlight for summer, I love it. For the lips, she is using NARS Rikugian Satin Matte Lip Pencil, which I don't have, but by the looks of that video, it sounds like I need it. I'm gonna go in with some lip liner first, just to cheat my lip line a little bit and make my lips look a bit fuller. I'm using Makeup Forever 3C. And the closest lip color that I have that looks like the thing she's wearing is the Lancome Matte Shaker in the color, what's this called? Beige Vintage. The name is very misleading because this is not a beige lip at all. And I'm just gonna dab it on the lips, just to give me like a sheer kiss of color. And then I'm gonna go in with the lip liner again, just overlining my lips a little bit. I mean, it's a Rosie Huntington-Whiteley look after all. To top it all off with a little bit of gloss, she's using Patrick Ta gloss in the color She's Expensive. I'm gonna use my Clarins Red Berry Glam lip oil because this has a little bit of red in it, which I think will help me get the color similar to hers. And this also has very subtle shimmer running through it, which gives a beautiful plump effect to the lips. I mean, this lip oil is the real MVP. I feel like this really just gave my lips that extra hint of glam that they needed. But yeah, this is the finished look, and let me get up closer. So you can see my take on it. I really like the way that it turned out. I feel like the look is still quite a me look, even though getting there was, you know, taking it a path that I wouldn't have personally taken. So it's such a fun challenge, and I challenge you to maybe try something like this weekend. If you're feeling creative, you just want to sit and play with makeup, you can always have fun and find a fresh new way to engage with makeup, even if it's not buying a new product. Like buying a new product and discovering something new is part of it, but it's also just as much fun to play with what you already have and maybe discover new ways to use it and to appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you're having a wonderful day. Have a great weekend, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.